Alright, so Kodiak DeBear has asked me if I would do a quick video on a bushcraft or survival belt loadout, and I know there are some that are very distinctly one or the other. So let me just kind of go over this. I'll start with the items up front that are not part of the belt kit. I typically wear a cargo pant style pant when I'm out in the woods or in the bush, or when I'm out doing stuff, hiking or camping. And so I will, if I'm going to carry a belt system instead of a pack, I will carry a emergency survival kit. And this is not super intense, and what's in it, there is a space blanket, a striker wheel, a signaling mirror, a whistle, some quick tenders, a button compass in there, and a little roll of duct tape, and a micro fishing kit. So that's what's in this. I would normally keep that in a side pocket, cargo pant pocket. It's not heavy at all. It's in a waterproof bag. And this is really just kind of a last ditch. If the belt got damaged or lost or whatever, kind of a last ditch piece of kit. So I'm going to go ahead and set that off to the side. One of the items I will often carry, not always, this is a waxed canvas tool roll. And in that is my Aboriginal tool set. And so there's a couple of carving blades. So like the leaf or the teardrop style blade. There is a beaver tooth chisel there. And then there is an awl so that I can dig through. And there are two handles. One has the hole through the middle that I can use for my awl, right? So I can use that to burrow into wood, drill holes, whatever. I could also use it with the beaver tooth chisel if I need to kind of gouge or get in and get some extra leverage on it. There's holes on the ends. I can use that and I can get in that way, and it can be used with all of the tools. And then the second one does not have the hole in the center. It's just the either end, and that way I can use multiple tools, 2 tools at a time or whatever. And in reality, I could actually put a tool in each end and have it reversible. But this is kind of my wood carving and functional tools kit. And again, that like my survival kit or my emergency items kit, that rolls up and goes into the other side cargo pants pouch if I'm going to carry it. And those are kind of the tools that I would carry that are not specific, like I'd be using them constantly. I would be sitting down and I'd probably even take the belt off if I'm going to sit and use that. But that's my little tool roll. So I'm going to start with the knife side, my left side, which is my off side. I'm right-handed, so right arm is strong side. I'm going to start with the left. I carry my knife, which is a traditional bushcraft style knife. Not a very long blade. It's 3.5-inch blade. This is just I think 1/4 inch thick 01 tool steel. This is a Brock Knives Horseman's Companion. This is my constant carry knife. If I'm carrying a fixed blade knife, 98% of the time, 95% of the time anyway, this is the knife I'm carrying. I wear it cross draw. And on my sheath, the sheath is made by Terry Taylor, who is a member of multiple groups, so a lot of you probably know him as well. He made the custom Kydex sheath, and it has the Olight micro flashlight, LED flashlight, and then I can have a ceramic honing or sharpening rod is what I normally carry. I have a ferro rod that can go here. Sometimes I'll trade that out, depends on what I'm going to be doing. But this is my blade maintenance kit built on, and that's typically what I'll carry for this loadout. Second item on here I don't use a whole lot, but you'll see why, but I keep it on there. It's very small, very lightweight, It is a Black & Decker single AA LED flashlight. It's not incredibly bright, but it's bright. Depending on what I'm wearing, I can clip it to like a haversack strap. I can clip it to my shirt if I need to. I can clip it to a lanyard, but it's just a small flashlight that if I'm not needing both hands, I can use this quickly and get it out quickly. Inside the sheath for this, the pouch for it, there are, let's see if I can get them out here, a red, a green, and a blue filter lens. And this is why I actually carry this particular flashlight. Red and green filters for nighttime, right? Low light nighttime, so that it doesn't ruin my night vision. And then the final filter is the blue light, which I can use for ultraviolet for tracking, you know, blood splatter or something like that. If I'm trapping, snaring, hunting, whatever, that allows me to track blood of game. So that's why I carry that. It's a very lightweight flashlight. I don't use it a whole lot, but I carry it because I love the fact that it has the little filters on it. And it's a single AA battery. So that's why I carry that. So the biggest, by far, and certainly the heaviest piece of this loadout is the Orca Molly bottle bag and its contents. But when you see what's in it, I think you'll kind of understand why. If I'm going to carry a belt kit and a haversack, I'll usually put a pair of suspenders on this. I'm considering making a leather pair to actually make wraps. I have a new belt coming this week, but that stuff's kind of irrelevant. But with the bottle on there, I'll probably go to suspenders to help hold the weight of that. But when you see what all is in here, I think you'll understand why I like this particular loadout. So let's start with what's inside. Pretty traditional bottle bag in the fact that I carry a stainless steel cup and a 40-ounce single wall stainless steel clean canteen, so I can boil in that, right? I can collect water in it, boil in it for purification. I can put tabs in it if I need to, if I don't have time to create a fire. I have a fire kit, but I think what's going to be kind of odd, or what you guys may not have ever seen before unless you've seen my video with this loadout, is some of the cool pieces that I keep in here. So let me start with this at the bottom. This is why I love the Orca pouch, because of this bottom container or the compartment. I keep a handful, sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 3. I've stored as many as 9 Esbit fuel tabs. I also keep my Solo Stove Trangia style alcohol burner. Has the simmer ring, has the screw-on cap with the O-ring, so I keep that full. And I've got, depending on weather conditions, whatever, right, I have somewhere between 30 and 45 minutes or right around there of alcohol burn time for cooking. So that stays in this lower pouch. But what really sets this little kit apart, for me anyway, is what's in here. I will come back to this, but I keep in here P51 can opener. I keep in here a standard lighter. This happens to be a kind of a brown Bic, full size. I keep my titanium spork so I can eat. I can cook small things or whatever in the cup. It has a little pot. And then I keep my fish mouth spreaders, the stainless steel fish mouth spreaders that I can use to hang this for boiling water. So that's the items that I keep inside here. And then give me just a second and I will show you this other piece. And I think this is actually what sets this whole deal apart in my mind, why this is such a great kit, because I don't have any other pouch that can do this. This is a piece of carbon felt. In fact, let me move this out of the way. And you may notice that I keep my my cup, instead of on the bottom nested, I keep it on the top. I don't like having all the char and junk get inside my cup. Some people, it doesn't matter. I don't care for it, so I keep it on the top. which also is really nice because it allows me to, if I need to store some stuff up in there, I can do that too, whatever. But that's how I carry that. This is my Firebox X case with the titanium nano stove. Another piece of carbon felt, which is used as a windscreen, right? So there's some pins in here that I can set this up as a windscreen. There's a titanium windscreen there. But with the nano stove, I can use the nano sticks and I can put my Trangia style burner down in there. And this becomes the pot stand and the windscreen for that. There is the plate, which is in this hand. The Esbit fuel plate. This actually fits down inside. This is a little piece that I made, a mesh screen that I made so that I can use pellet fuel in this stove. So there's just a lot of functionality in this stove, and that's why I carry it. That's why this kit is so unique in my opinion, and I think it's what makes it such a strong kit, is I have a backup emergency stove that allows me to control how big my fire is. I can still create a full-scale fire. I can dig a pit and I can set the rock ring and I can do all of that. That's fine. But I don't always want to do that. Sometimes I just want to boil the water. I want to get my stuff up off the ground, get it done, and move on. And so I have that freedom with this particular kit. And if it's really bad weather or whatever, I have a way to get into a place where I might not be able to build a fire on the ground and still kick up a stove and have something warm to drink, make pine needle tea, or warm up a meal or whatever. So I have options with that, and that's precisely why I love this kit, because it gives me a lot of options. And as you can see, this is not crammed full. I could fit easily 4 or 5 more of these in here, or some other things. So it's a really great piece of kit. That's the Orca Molly water bottle pouch. Continuing on, this is my compass and headlamp that I keep in here. And I'll start with the headlamp. I happen to use the Black Diamond Storm 350 lumen. It is variable adjustable white light settings, has red, green, and blue lights for the same reasons as this. This is usually my go-to light because I can do it hands-free, but it's for AAAs, so a lot more batteries on that one. So I've got the Olight as the backup, and then the Black & Decker as a backup. And then on the front of the pouch is my compass. And my compass is a multi-purpose tool, as it probably is for a lot of you guys. I can use it as a compass, right? I keep on there my pace bead set. Anyway, my pace count set and my compass mirror can be used for inspecting to see if I have something in my eye or my face or whatever. It can be used for signaling. I haven't done it, but I've read that and watched videos of people do it, that the magnification piece on this, while it can be used for inspection, splinters or whatever, bites, can also be used to start a solar fire. So it's just a multi-purpose piece, and that's what I carry as far as a compass, and that is the Suunto MC2 Global compass that I carry. Right? This is my first aid kit. It's really a boo-boo kit. There's not a whole lot of anything. Sometimes, depending on where I'm going to be and how far away from help I will be, or if I'm going alone, whatever, I will carry in my cargo pant pocket an Israeli bandage and a tourniquet. But that it really depends on my situation as whether I'm going to carry that or not. I do not carry all of that in my belt first aid kit. It's very simplistic. So let me go ahead and kind of open that up. I carry a pair of nitrile gloves. Sometimes I carry 2 sets in there. There's currently 1. I think there's actually 3 gloves in there right now. I carry hand sanitizer, a couple little pouches, tubes. I carry sunscreen. I think there's 3 little pouches of that. I don't use a lot of sunscreen personally, but I carry it just to be on the safe side. I have alcohol wipes. There's 5 of those. I have insect sting relief gel. So if I get mosquito bites or fly bites, gnats, whatever, in this little ID pouch container here, I carry a micro tube of super glue and a Leatherman micro tool, which has tweezers. It has a small knife blade. It has scissors. So that's kind of my emergency tool. I have wiped that down with alcohol really well, and that's all I use it for, is this particular kit. I have a large tube of triple antibiotic ointment that has not been opened. Typically, I would not open that unless I was doing a pretty big amount of wound care. I keep sterile eye drops to rinse my eyes or whatever. Triple antibiotic ointment in 3 little pouch tubes, and then an assortment of different size small bandages, a little piece of gauze, so if I need to cover an eye or I've got a little bit bigger wound, whatever. This is by no means a trauma kit. It is a very basic first aid kit. Another thing that I actually carry in here, and I've never had to use it, but in case I had to take wild medicinal plants or whatever and process them down, I have a little credit card knife that I can use to do that, and it just slides. Anyway, it just slides out. So I keep that in there. Doesn't weigh a whole lot, and it's just an extra cutting device if I needed it. So that's my boo-boo kit. It's not, it's not an all-consuming by any means. And when I carry a pack, I carry a much more extensive first aid kit, micro trauma kit. This is a waxed canvas rollout dump pouch that is actually pretty big. So it's got some cool features that I like about it. It's got a nice high volume, right? I can fit a very large amount of stuff in there. Has a front pocket so I can kind of keep stuff separated if I need to, like that. And then it has this drawstring closure system so I can keep stuff from falling out, and it increases the volume that it can hold as well. I'm not going to try and get you down in there, but see if you can see it. There are 4 little pockets on the inside, so if I needed to, I could put little tools or whatever down in there. Whatever. I don't use those a whole lot, but they're sewn into the inside and they're there as an option. And this is really nice because it just folds up about the same size as my boo-boo kit on the belt and stays out of the way unless I need it. My haversack would typically be my collection bag, but this allows me to keep. So if I'm out collecting mushrooms, edibles, medicinals, whatever, I would normally keep those in my haversack, usually in some Ziploc bags or whatever. And then this would be if I come across tinder, kindling, other things that I don't want with the medicinals and edibles. I try and keep those kind of things separated so I can use that to pick up stuff that I don't want mixed in with other stuff. Then my final piece on here is my fire kit. I'll go ahead and open that and show you that. Scoot this stuff down. And my fire kit is a very, very simplistic, very basic fire kit. Like I said, a lot of times I have a ferro rod that I keep on here. Typically I use the ceramic rod, the hone on there, and I carry just in my pouch here a little micro ferro rod that I can use so it screws in. I can use my knife blade, right, to scrape that, or there's a little mini scraper in here. So that's it, my micro ferro rod, and that's on a lanyard so I don't lose it. Put that in there. There's a whistle built into that I keep in here as well. When I go out, before I go out, I'll always open this and make sure that I have refilled it. This is an EverStrike lighter fluid lighter. So it's got a kind of a matchstick inside of it. You guys have probably seen these before. So you fill it with lighter fluid, and then it's just kind of a reusable matchstick with a striker side and a little cotton wick that I can use to start fire if I need to. And then sometimes, not always, because I don't use it very often, and you'll understand why here in just a minute when I show you the rest of this little kit. But I often will carry, or sometimes will carry, if I'm actually planning that there's a high likelihood I will wind up using that, I have a little Zippo mini fuel pill container that I put replacement fuel in, and I'll keep that in there. I keep 3 or 4 little pieces of fat wood, you know, just depends. And then inside here, let me get that out, is my Altoid tin. Has the hole punched in it so I can create char material. I keep a second Bic lighter, or a lighter, right now it happens to be a Bic. I keep what's called pocket wick, which is a waxed jute wick that can be pulled out, cut off a piece, shred it, and process it to make it fluffy, and then that makes a great tinder. I also carry a little bit of dryer lint. I carry, depends time to time, there's some in there, but I'll usually carry 2 or 3. Right now there's one because I've used them, the little Tinder Quick pellets. And then I carry a graphite 2-size metal pencil sharpener, and I can use that for twigs and sticks. One to, you know, to make little sharp points so I can make stakes or toggles or whatever. I could also use that to make more tinder and get fire going if I run out of my other stuff. Also in the container I keep a striker, which can be used with my little ferro rod. It can be used if I find a piece of flint or chert or quartz. And it happens to be a mustache just because I thought it was cool and somebody gave that to me. So that's my striker, my steel striker. Again, my Altoid tin can be used to make char material if I should so need to. I almost always have like a bandana or a shemagh, so if I needed cotton material, I could certainly make use of what I've got on my being. And then the last piece I carry is a plastic Fresnel lens for solar. If there's enough sun or whatever, it's just one more method of fire that takes up literally no space in the container, and so I keep it down there at the bottom. I used to keep it up on top, and this got bumped a couple of times and cracked a piece of the Fresnel lens trying to get it out. So I now keep it down at the bottom. I've never had that part get damaged. But that is my micro fire kit for the belt, and that is what I carry on me when I carry a belt kit, which isn't super often, but there are times where I don't want to carry a full pack load out. I know I'm not going to be gone, you know, for more than a couple of hours or whatever, and I just want easy access to it. Clip lock it on. I don't, my leather kit was a regular buckle. This is the snap lock style buckle, which I find much easier to deal with, getting it on and off as I need it, so that I can get in and out of it. But that is my belt kit. One item that I have considered maybe putting back on here, and why I haven't, I'll just go back to that really quick and show you. On my leather belt kit, I had an axe loop, so that I could keep my hatchet or my smaller axe. I could hang it on my belt. Usually it was a hatchet. I don't really have a tomahawk. I have a little one, but it's not really. But the reason I have actually gotten rid of that loop from this particular kit is because on here there is a small loop which holds my small little hatchet tomahawk piece. If I really wanted to carry that, I can hang that here, right? And then just loop that over it and carry it that way. I don't carry that very often. In fact, what I'm more likely to carry is I'm more likely to stick my folding saw in this pocket, fold this over, and catch that. But I have a way to carry that built into this particular pouch, and I like that. So I took the leather loop off of here. I have a Cordura one too that I don't like it either, but that's why there is no axe loop per se. I don't always carry the hatchet, I don't always carry the saw, but if I usually carry anything else, it's going to be the saw. Sometimes I have added on here my Leatherman pouch. I typically wear a Leatherman. If I have it on the pouch, it's usually the Surge with the saw kit and the little blades, saw and file kit inside that sheath. But more often than not, I have gone to the Leatherman Wave, and I have the belt clip for that, and so that's usually in my pocket, and that's why it's no longer on the belt kit, because it's usually in my pocket, and it has a saw blade built into it. So that's what I carry is the Wave instead of the Surge, just because it's smaller and lighter. And this is a pretty heavy kit with 40 ounces of water in the stove, and so I try not to add anything more to it. There have been times where I take this off and just carry my haversack or a different kind of a collection pouch. It really just depends, but this is kind of my full loadout. If I were going to carry the whole thing, it would be this. One of the things that I consider doing, and I haven't decided yet for sure, as much as I love this, it is heavy, and there are days that I just am not cooking if I go out. I'm not heating water, I'm not doing any of that. And so I'm looking into getting a stainless steel, like the Pathfinder canteen set that has the little stove and the cup, but if I do anything, that'll be that. Otherwise, this is my loadout. Thanks for watching.